You're watching the news on Galaxy TV. Let's cross over live now to Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where we have Josiah Olufemi standing by to speak with us, a social commentator. Josiah, thank you so much for agreeing to speak with Galaxy TV. Let me even begin with a question that my colleague and I were just even talking about just a moment ago. The fact that palliatives, it appears, seems to be in a lot of states across Nigeria. Were they even distributed in the first place? Josiah, if you can hear me loud and clear now, I'm asking, I mean, a lot of states, it appears, have palliatives, Cross River, Lagos, Plateau, and all of that. The big question is, were they even distributed in the first place?
Well, to the best of my knowledge, I think palliatives were distributed. Don't forget that we have not totally overcome coronavirus. So for me, it is a continuous process. And it is in lieu of this that this NSAS thing came about. So it is too early for anybody to condemn state governors for not distributing palliatives. For instance, in Oyo State where I live, I'm aware the state government distributed palliative about 4 times. And in his independence message, the governor equally said that they are going to do the 5th batch of the palliative. So for me, where I live, I can say the government of Oyo State have done so well in the distribution of palliatives. I might not be able to say the same of other state governors because I don't live there.
As we are here, it also appears it's an era of looting warehouses where the COVID-19 palliatives are, but it also appears that there's a lot of hunger in the country at the moment.
Well, to say there is a lot of hunger is an understatement. Like a year ago, there is a global poverty index that categorized Nigeria as the world capital of poverty. And the politicians, particularly the federal government, did not start pronouncement. With what has happened, with what we have seen, nobody needs to tell us that there is no poverty in the ground, on the ground. There is prevalent poverty in Nigeria, and it is unfortunate that we find ourselves in this situation. However, this is an opportunity for all stakeholders to sit down and have a rethink about the project called Nigeria. Do we want to continue this way? Do we have the right framework to make Nigeria the country we want to be? These are questions we should ask ourselves. Is the government running a proper system that can cater for the well-being of the people? If you look at what happened in Jos, if you look at what happened in Ibadan where I live yesterday, if you look at what happened in Cross River and some other states that I saw on social media, on the mainstream media, it shows that while we are not supporting the looting by the people, don't forget, it's not all the people that were taking those things that are hoodlums ordinarily. But some of them, from what we saw, they believe that it's what belongs to them, that those people who had them in their custody were keeping. So for them, they have gone to take what belongs to them, which to me is not the best approach. But at the same time, the people in government have to look at it, that have we degenerate so much to this low level? Who brought us to this level? The people who should take the blame are those in government. It means Nigerians have not been run properly. Then do we, moving forward, sir?
Now, I mean, the ways forward, and then you also mentioned the right approach, you say. So talk us through what exactly you think is probably the right approach that Nigerians and the followers need to follow, as well as the ways forward.
Number one, the essence of government. Why does government exist? Government exists for 2 reasons. 1, security of life and property. 2, the welfare of the people. Number 1, it is obvious that our security architecture has failed. It is obvious from what we have seen that our security architecture is not working. So perhaps those are asking for state policing, community policing, they have become justified. It is high time the federal government do a proper police reform. That is number 1. Going forward, the essence of government in itself is the welfare of the people. In a situation where people are breaking into warehouse to steal indomie, to steal rice, my brother, if you are not a poor person, mentally, poor in the real sense of it, you wouldn't do that. So for those that have done that, they are Nigerians like us. As much as we will not support what they are doing, we should look at the situation that lead them to doing such things so that it will not happen again. I feel ashamed as a Nigerian. I'm a politician and I'm part of the people that should fix Nigeria. I know the problem of Nigeria, but can I say the same of other politicians? So I'm using this opportunity to advise those in the National Assembly and in the State Assembly. This is the time they should restructure Nigeria. They don't need to wait for Muhammadu Buhari to do it. The senator whose house was looted should know that tomorrow it might not be his property, it might even be his life. So if he thinks he's safe, what of his family? The members of House of Rep who are seeing all this happening, nobody is safe any longer. No politician is safe. So whether we like it or not, they don't need to wait for Muhammadu Buhari. They are elected to represent the people. Let them fix Nigeria. Let us know that it is Buhari that is problem. Let them make the right framework for us. If Buhari is not ready to now agree to it, they come back to us as Nigerians. Because it is obvious.
I guess that's a good place to anchor our conversation. I guess that's a good place to anchor our conversation. I'd like to thank you most kindly for speaking with us, Josiah Olufemi, a social commentator, as well as a former Speaker of the Oyo State House of Assembly. Thank you so much. All right, this is former member. You're watching the news on Galaxy TV. Just ahead in the part 2 of our news package, Ogun State government warns against insightful and provocative statement capable of causing ethnic crisis in the state. That story gets our focus after the break. Stay with us.